So in last class, what exactly we did, we went through the theory of all the questions, like a theory of an equality chapter, basically. So in this class, what we'll be focusing on is on the questions itself. So what we did in the last class, there were two types of a question that would be asked in your exam. That is a is type of question and what type of a question. What we did in the last class was there are two types of questions that could be asked in your in data sufficiency. That was one was is type and the other was what type. So these are the two types of a question that could be asked in the exam. But please understand there is also two structures of a question that could be asked to you in the exam. And in DS, trust me, there is no any different types of a question, different types of a structure that comes. So if you understand what are the type of a question and what are the two structure of a question, I promise you any problem of DS from any chapter could be solved. So there are two structures of a question that you can be asked in the exam. Can be asked. So one is your direct question, where there is no information given to you in the question. You are just asked to solve how to approach a question, simple logic, like how you approach a question when it's a direct question. And the second structure is when some information is given to you in the question. When some info is given to you in the question. So how you try and attempt a problem where there are some information that is given to you in the question. Please understand this information is not to beautify the question. This information is not to beautify the question. Be very sure this information needs to be used while you are solving the statement. So from now onward, whenever we solve a question, we'll try and classify the question that what is the type of a question, it's a is type of a question, and what type of a question, and what are the structure of a question. Is this a direct question, or where are some information, or is there some information given to us in the question? If this clarity is there in your head, I promise you, you will have a very beautiful approach to go ahead and try and solve any question. The first thing that you look into any type of a question, if it's a data sufficiency question, irrespective of the chapter it is, it does not matter to us at all. Our first job is to understand what are the two types of a question it is. It may be is type of a question, it may be what type of a question. Then look into what is structure of a question it is. It may be a direct question. So we will look into in today's class, we'll look into how we approach a question, like how you go ahead and approach a direct question where there is no information given to you. How do you approach a question where there are some information given to you? So these are the four things that we'll be looking while solving any question. So imagine this is the first question that we try to solve in the class, question number 1. Now this is no easy questions at all. It is 100% a tough problem. I would say a class 700, 800 level problem for sure. So the first job, what we need to understand is this is a is type of a problem. And it's very clear, right? Now it's a is type of a question and then it's a direct question. Now you see there is no whatsoever information is given to you in the question. The question is straightforward. Is x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4? Option number 1 says x square plus y square is greater than z square. Option number 2 says x plus y greater than z. All the question is trying to ask you, will you be able to answer this particular question with the help of statements or not? Simple logic. So moment you look into two statements, your answer should be in form of A, B, C, D, E. The same thing what we did in the previous class. I hope you have been through the video. It was important for sure. So moment you have, so now please understand one thing. How can you say that a question is complex? Matlab, how do you get to realize that this question is a tough question? What is the criteria of you understanding that this question is a tough question? Right? Tell me, any one of you. Please understand this is a pretty direct question. The questions are made complicated by putting more number of variables. Understand there are 3 variables over here in this question, x, y, and z. There is an absolutely no information given about you 2 variables. It could be anything. X could be positive, x could be negative, it could be fraction, it could be positive fraction, negative fraction. And for that sake, x, y, and z all could be anything at all. So there is no information that is given to you in this question. There is no relation between the variables is given to you in the question. The question is straightforward asking, is x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4? Option number 1 says x square plus y square greater than z square. Option number 2 says x plus y greater than z. Now, can you please take 2 minutes and try solving this by yourself? Even if you have done it at the home, that's a different step, but please take 2 minutes of time and try doing it over there. Whatsoever method you can do, doesn't matter. What the answer? Anyone?
Option E, Rahul.
A. A can never be the answer, Rajesh, because
E.
E, right? For sure. So, guys, what is the question? Please check over here now. The question says, is x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4? I can straight away say option number 1, even powers cannot be predicted. Can't be predicted. So not sufficient. But please ensure that you can say these things only when you have very good backup of solving such type of almost 30 to 40 problem. When you are doing it in home, this is something that you can 100% do it in the exam, that even powers cannot be predicted. But what exactly you mean by even powers cannot be predicted? That should be well understood to you. So you simply can't say this is not sufficient. The whole point is I need to prove is x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4. And how I need to prove this? Because I know that x square plus y square is greater than z square. Now, when you know that x square plus y square is greater than z square, will you be in a position to say x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 will be greater than z to the power 4? Yes or no? Tell me this. Obviously, this is even powers. We have read in the last class, even powers cannot be predicted. So based on that, I can 100% say this statement is not sufficient to answer the question for sure. But when you are doing it in the home condition, you should ensure that it's a is type of a question. Whenever you try and say any statement is not sufficient, you must have a yes and no situation. Simple logic. When you are doing stuffs at home, you will never say even powers cannot be predicted. This is very wrong to say. So what we need to do here is we need to 100% take a number. If we try and do it algebraically, it will get much more complicated. Why? Just because there is no relation given between any variables over here. So imagine if I take x is equal to 100, y is equal to 100, and z is equal to 1. For all these numbers, can I say statement number 1 suffice? For all these numbers, x square plus y square will be surely greater than z square, right? Anyone, any doubt? And for all these numbers, even the questions will be fine. X4 plus Y4 would be greater than Z4. So I have a yes situation to statement number 1 for sure. What is a no situation? Imagine if I say X is equal to 3, Y is equal to 3, Z to the equal to 4. Can I say, guys, my option number 1 suffice? That is 3 square plus 3 square is greater than 4 square. 9 plus 9 is greater than 16. But for the same values, can I say 3 to the power 4 plus 3 to the power 4 is greater than 4 to the power 4? No, because this is 81 plus 81. And this is greater than 256. Absolutely no. So when I take this condition, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 3, my statement number 1 suffices. X square plus y square is greater than z square. But my question does not suffice. X to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 is not greater than z to the power 4. This is no situation. Now, can you tell me if at all you people have taken some other number here for a no situation? Anyone has taken any other number? Rajesh, what are the numbers that you have taken for no situation?
I've taken 4, 4, and 5, Rahul.
Absolutely, 4, 4, 5 is 100% fine. A lot of people take x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, and z is equal to 10. Can anybody tell me, is this a correct number or not? If at all, why can you take this or why you can't take this?
Doesn't satisfy the first situation.
Absolutely. It does not satisfy the first statement. A lot of people do the mistake of taking x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, z is equal to 10. And they say that 1 to the power 4 plus 1 to the power 4 is not greater than 10 to the power 4. But please understand, you are proving this statement x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4 in what situation? You know that x square plus y square is greater than z square. When you know statement number 1 suffice. Now with the help of this statement, you are trying to prove this. That is the question sufficed or not. So you cannot take this number because statement number 1 does not suffice at all. So please be very sure. This is a question which gives you a very beautiful thought process to approach a data sufficiency question. Be one thing very sure, whenever you approach any type of a question, statements are absolute. What do you mean by statements are absolute? In any data sufficiency question, never ever try and challenge the statement. Never ever challenge the statement. If you take x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, z is equal to 1, you are trying to challenge the statement. The statement does not suffice for this particular value. So we can't take these values at all. So now I have taken two pretty simple value front of you, where I have put x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 4. My statement number 1 suffice, but my question don't suffice. I have taken x is equal to 100, y is equal to 100, z is equal to 1. My statement number 1 suffice, my question also suffice. So it's a yes situation and this is a no situation. And that's the reason I can come down to a conclusion that option number 1 is not sufficient. Anyone, any doubt, please tell me if you have not understood. Because understand, we are trying to solve a is type of a question. And while we are solving a is type of a question, with every statement, there is only one purpose in our head to create a yes and no situation. That's it. If I can create this, statement is not sufficient. If I can't create this, statement is sufficient. Anyone, any doubt?
What if I take x is equal to 5, y 6, and z 7?
X is equal to 5, y 6, and z is equal to 7, right?
7.
So
Yeah.
5 square plus 6 square is how much? 25 plus 36 is greater than 7 to the power 4, right?
Yeah.
7 is greater than 49. When you take
Yeah.
5 to the power 4 is 25, 625.
Yes.
6 to the power 4 is somewhere around 900 plus, because 13 to 30 is your 900. 36 into 36 would be how much? 936 something. It will be 940, take it, something and all. But you'll have to have the absolute value. Then you'll have to calculate what is 7 to the power 4. So 50 into 50 is how much? 2500, right?
It's 2401.
Absolutely. If you calculate that, then it's 100% fine. But take a number which you are in position to calculate, Ankita.
Yeah.
Do not take such numbers where in exam you have to actually multiply it. That will be
Yeah.
a problematic one.
Got it. Yeah.
You can actually take 4, 5, 6. If you take 4, 5, 6 here, so see here, 4 square plus 5 square is how much? 16 plus 25 is greater than 36, right?
Mhm.
But 4 to the power 4, 256, 625. 256 and 625 is less than 100, right?
Yeah.
So 250, 2 and 200 and 625. So 600, 200 becomes 800. It is 800 something. 36 into 36 is 30 into 30, 900. 36 into 36 will be more than 900 for sure. So 4 to the 4 to the power 4, 5 to the power 4 is not greater than 6 to the power 4. You can take whatever number you wish, but ensure that take a number where you don't have to multiply a lot, or else you'll be wasting your time there, right?
Yes.
And this is the reason I can say option number 1 is not sufficient. Anyone, any doubt here? Please tell me. Aman, Chirag, Gaurav, clear? Ratu,
Yes,
Sakshi,
sir.
Claudia, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Perfect. So option number 2 now. Now this is a simple one again. So when I have got to know that option number 1 is not sufficient, my simple job in option number 2 is also to create a yes and no situation. Imagine if I take a number, x is equal to 100, y is equal to 100, z is equal to 1. Can I say for all these number, option number 1 suffice? That is x plus y is greater than z. Can I say option, my question suffice, x4 plus y4 is greater than z4? I have a yes situation. Let's try and take the same number to check that whether this is satisfying with option number 2 or not. So imagine if I take x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 4. Can I say option number 2 suffice, x plus y greater than z? Can I say my question suffice now? x4 plus y4 is greater than z4? It does not suffice at all. So I have a yes situation, I have a no situation, and I can say this is not sufficient. Now, why did I take the same number, guys? I just took the same number so that it will be easy for me to combine. So imagine if I take the same number now, x is equal to 100, y is equal to 100, z is equal to 1. Can I say my statement number 1 suffice, x square plus y square is greater than z square? Can I say my statement number 2 suffice, x plus y greater than z? Can I say my question suffice now, x4 plus y4 is greater than z4? When I take the second statement, let's say x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 4. Can I again say x square plus y square is greater than z square? That suffice. 100% statement number 1 suffice. Can I say statement number 2 suffice? Can I say my question does not suffice? So guys, it's pretty simple. Do not ever challenge the statement. You take whatever number, that does not matter at all. The statement should be 100% sufficient.
So, sir, basically the values have to be in sync with the statement, what the statement demands. Right.
100%. I'll come down to the values now. I'm coming down to the values. Always ensure values has to be 1000% in sync with the statement. But the one point is which a lot of people ask me, Rahul, how do you exactly get to know that this is the number that needs to be taken? So please understand there is no generalized formula for this. So point number 2 in key concept deals with you taking the number, but these things doesn't work at all. There is no generalized number that should be taken. All you have to ensure, guys, I'll try my best that I will solve majority of the question. By majority, I mean 80% of the questions algebraically. But there are some time where we have no other way except going through the numbers. Then again, the question comes, how should you be taking a number? So that is 100%. Whenever you take any number, do 1000% be sure that take a number and understand the behavior of that particular number with the questions that is being asked. My question is asked, is x4 plus y4 greater than z4? Now creating a yes situation is pretty simple here. You can take x100, y100, z is equal to 1, x square plus y square is greater than z square, x4 plus y4 is greater than z4. But when you are trying to create a no situation means what? X to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 is not greater than z to the power 4. Don't you feel you will have to take a value of z? You would have to take a value of j which is greater than value of x and y? Tell me one thing. Is this very clear or not? If you do not take the value of z greater than value of x and y, it is impossible that you will get a no situation in the question. Think about it. So never ever take values blindly, guys. This is absolutely not acceptable. When you are taking a values for any question, ensure that understand how those values behaves with the question. If you simply keep doing blindly creating a yes and no situation, sometime it may happen that you will be able to create it. But a lot of time it will happen that you will be trapped in that all vicious cycle of taking values, what values to take, what values not to take. So whenever you take any values, understand the behavior of that particular values with the question. My job was pretty simple. I have to create a yes and no situation. I know that option number 1 says even powers cannot be predicted. So the option number 1 is not sufficient for sure, because we have read in the class even powers cannot be predicted. But all I'm trying to say is when you solve a problem in the home, do not simply say even powers are not predicted and not sufficient. The point is pretty simple. It's a S type of a question. If it is not sufficient, you must have a yes and no situation. So to creating a yes situation is pretty easy, but creating a no situation, taking a value for no situation sometimes gets tricky for sure. Agreed? Any doubt over here?
Rahul, I think coming the like 4z should be higher than x and y. That is, that we would have sort of imagined. But x equal to y was difficult, right? Over here, that you
that is okay. That is okay, Sachi. The point is, imagine if you take the gap a bit more. Imagine it is very easy for us to imagine x3, y3, or let's say x2, y3 and z is equal to 5. A pretty simple value to imagine.
Yes.
But the
yes.
point is, ki, why should you imagine close values? Because you need to ensure that your value satisfies statement number one also, Sakshi. If you create a difference huge, then in statement number one, you will not be able to satisfy. Because if I take 2, 3, 5, imagine, Sakshi, do you think 2 square plus 3 square is greater than 5 square?
No, can't be here.
So you can't take this values at all. So the whole point is when you iterate the values in your head, you by default will understand. All you have to understand one thing for sure: never ever try and challenge the statement. A statement should be satisfied first for sure. Whatever value you take, that doesn't matter at all. The value should 100% try and satisfy the statement, and then one time it should happen, your value should satisfy the question, your value should not satisfy the question. That is a yes and no situation in front of you. So you can 100% do a hit and trial method. A lot of people tell me, Rahul, I take 3, 4, 5, and this is fine. But please understand, 3 square plus 4 square is not greater than 5 square. So you can't take value 3, 4, 5 as well. Now you try and do 2, 3, 3, 4. You try and do 3, 3, 5. In fact, when you do 3, 3, 5, that is also not possible because 3 square plus 3 square is not greater than 5 square. So just be very sure, understand the entire process, what exactly we are doing. Never ever try and challenge the statement. The question was pretty simple. Is x to the power 4, y to the power 4 greater than z to the power 4? But please understand how you are supposed to tell this, Sanchi. How you are supposed to say x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 is greater than z to the power 4 or not? You need to tell this with the help of statement number 1. So if you are, the question is asking, is x4 plus y4 greater than z4? What are exactly they are trying to ask? Is this condition possible? By what aspect? With the help of statement number 1 and statement number 2, you need to prove this. So they are trying to say you is x4 plus y4 greater than z4. They have given you option number 1, x square plus y square is greater than z square. Now the question is trying to tell you, Sakshi, you know that x square plus y square is greater than z square. Now, just by knowing that x square plus y square is greater than z square, will you be in a position to tell that x4 plus y4 is greater than z4 or not? Again, statement, they are giving you statement number 2, that you also know this, Sanchi, that x plus y is greater than z. Just by knowing that x plus y plus is greater than z, will you be in a position to say the x to the power 4 plus y to the power 4 is greater than z to the power 4 or not? So
Okay.
you are 100% supposed to ensure that follow the statement. Do not ever challenge the statement. So take a value with respect to statement. Agreed?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Perfect. So this is, I now you can 100%, all of you can fight with me, Rahul, how you expect me to do this question in 2 minutes. I don't expect you to do this in exam in this way. Straight away in exam, you go and say that even powers are not predicted. So option number 1 is not sufficient. But to actually say this, there is a good amount of backup that is required. It means that you will have to 100% try and solve some good number of a question to come down to a conclusion and say this even powers are not predicted. So when you are doing in the home, you are solving any type of a problem, please ensure do not take any sorts of shortcuts at all. Ensure that till you don't get a yes and no situation, you will not say that this is sufficient or not sufficient. Okay. Now, can you please try solving question number 3? We'll solve all the questions, but let me go ahead with the way I'm taking. Can you please take 2 minutes for this? Again, this is a question where you should be taking a values only. I'm just giving you a hint, but take a minute and try doing this. I'll just get water and come. What the answer for this?
Sir, C.
Okay. Anyone else? So again, question. So now you see, this is a S type of a question. And the structure is what? There's a bit of information that is given to you. So I've told you when there are some information that is given to you in the question, you need to 100% ensure that what the information is. Information says that x is not equal to negative y. What does this mean? That x plus y is not equal to 0. It means the question restricts you to take values of x as 5 and y as -5. Because if you take such values, so 5 minus 5 will become equal to 0, and question has explicitly discarded it, that you are not supposed to take this value. Simple. Now the question is x plus question is says that if x plus y is not equal to 0, is x minus y over x plus y greater than 1? Simple logic. Option number 1 says x is greater than 0, no idea about y. I can say not sufficient. Option number 2 says y less than 0, no idea about x. I can say not sufficient. But please ensure that you don't do this right at this point of time. You can do this in exam. And to do this, you will have to do a lot of questions to understand if I have no idea about y in such type of a question, can I say straight away not sufficient or not? This is the stuff that can be done in the exam for sure. That you have no idea about y, no idea about x, not sufficient. Now come down to the point is pretty simple. It's a S type of a question. If I say statement number 1 is not sufficient, I should have a yes or no situation. Simple logic. Imagine option number 1 says x is greater than 0. Can I say x is equal to, let's say, 5? I have no idea about y at all. Can I say y is equal to, let's say, 1? So 5 minus 1 is what? 5 minus 1 by 5 plus 1. That is 5 minus 1. Sorry. That is 4 by 6, which is less than 1. I have a no situation. Now let me take, if I take x is equal to 5 and y is equal to negative 10, what do I get? 5 minus of minus 10 by 5 minus 10. That is 15 by minus 5, which is less than 1. Check here. Sorry, 15 by, take this. I'm so sorry. Take 5 is, because I've got again same and no situation. I should try and get a yes situation. Take x is equal to 5, y is equal to, let's say, minus 1. What do I have? 5 minus of minus 1 by 5 minus 1. That is 6 by 4, which is greater than 1. I have a no situation. I have a yes situation. I can say option number 1 is not sufficient. This is what you are expected to do. You should not directly say that no idea about y, no, sir, not sufficient, no idea about x, not sufficient. Not initially. Later you can do this. But right now, if you are trying to solve any type of a question, you should have a very clear yes and no situation in your paper and with your pen and paper. Is that understood why option number 1 is not sufficient? I have created a yes and no situation in front of you. Agreed? Now let's come down to option number 2. Please do this in a homework for yourself. You will get 100% yes and no situation. It should not be sufficient. It is not sufficient. But this is a homework that you have to do it for yourself. Please try doing it by yourself. Now I'm trying to combine. In combination part, what has happened? Now when you combine it, you 100% know that x is greater than 0. You 100% know y is less than 0. There's a one situation already over here. X is equal to 5, y is equal to minus 1. I have what? 6 by 4 greater than 1, yes situation. How do you get a no situation? Can you please tell me what are the values? Because your job is to create a yes or no situation.
So we can take x as say 6 and y as say minus 10.
Brilliant. Absolutely.
So
take x
answer
is
will
equal
not
to
be
5,
C here.
y is equal to minus 10. 5 minus of minus 10 by 5 minus 10, that is 15 by negative 5, which is less than 1. Now, please understand, how did you come down to this conclusion that these are the values that should be taken? So for that, what I have told you, always look into the question when you are taking some values. Do not take values randomly. So imagine my job is x minus y over x plus y. How did I take the values? I'm telling you this. I know that x is greater than 0. I know y is less than 0. I know this. Now understand, if you take x greater than 0, y less than 0, your numerator will always add up or not? Check this. Will it always add up or not? If you take x greater than 0 and y less than 0?
Yes.
So everything depends on the denominator at all completely. I don't have to worry about numerator and what is happening in numerator, because if I take x positive and y negative, my numerator is adding up. Now my entire job is to look into the denominator. It says x plus y. What do you mean by this? Imagine if you take x is equal to 10, y is equal to -5. Numerator adds up, straight funda. It becomes 15. But my denominator becomes what? 10 minus 5. That is 5 it becomes. But imagine if I take x is equal to 10 and y is equal to -20. My numerator still adds up. It still adds up. But my denominator becomes what? -10. Check here. Moment I take magnitude of y greater than magnitude of x, considering that y should be negative, I will 100% get a no situation. Now you can, so when you try and generalize your values in this way, now you are in a position to create multiple yes no situation. So all I'm trying to say that whenever you take values, you should be in a position to generalize your values with respect to question. That is what I'm trying to say. So in this condition C also you have a yes and no situation. So answer is E to this. How come C, Aman? It should be E.
I didn't take the -10 and 5 picture in that into picture. It will be
Perfect. Perfect. Anyone, any doubt? Please tell me. Question is pretty simple. I'm just telling you how to generalize it. Sanchi, is this understood?
Yes, yes.
Saurya,
Understood.
Ankita,
Yeah,
Nishchit, clear? Nishchit, clear? Perfect. Can you please try doing question number 5? Take 2 minutes. Question number 5. I'll do all the questions. Don't worry at all.
So when it comes to integers, consecutive integers, we can also take negative values, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when it says integer, it could be anything, positive, negative.
All right.
So question is, what is PQRS are consecutive integer with P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. It means that there is a good number of information which is given to you. The question is asking, is PR less than QS? The question is this type. So your job with every statement is what? To create a yes and no situation. These are the small things you should be very clear with. My option number 1 says PQ is less than RS. Option number 2 says PS is less than QR. Simple logic. Now, but before we get into the question, there is some information that is given to you. So until you do not understand that information, going into the question is absolutely waste of time. So be very sure, guys, if it's a direct question, try and understand the question. If it's a question where some information is given to you, you always need to ensure that is the info. If until the information is very well understood to you, don't get into the question. It would make no sense at all. You will simply keep wasting your time. So it says that if PQRS are consecutive integer, this is given to you. PQRS are consecutive integer, and then it is given that P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. Now the question asking is PR less than QS. Now there are two approaches to solve this question for sure, because it says is PR less than QS. You can take some numbers. So you will have to take a positive set of number because 1 is less than 2 is less than 3 is less than 4. You will have to take a negative set of a number. You will have to take a negative and positive. So 3 sets of a number you will have to check, and for to check this question you will have to take 3 sets of a number because nothing is defined about PQRS at all. So just to get saved from those stuff, what we can do is that imagine there are 4 integers that is given to you in the question is PR less
Sir.
than QS.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, is the answer B?
I will come to it. So it says is PR less than QS. So there are 4 different integers that are given to you in the question. By default, this question means that it is a tough question. Why? Because there are 4 different integers. But in this information, they have given a very beautiful relation to you. That PQR is consecutive, P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. It means that we have a liberty to slightly play around with the question for sure. Always ensure if you can reduce the question into a simple form based on your own convenience, you should do that. Now imagine, can I say that Q is equal to P plus 1? Can I say this or not? Because PQRS is a consecutive integer. I know that P is less than Q is less than R is less than S. Can I say R is equal to P plus 2? Can I say S is equal to P plus 3? Now, before I get into the question, I would try to simplify the question for myself, because I personally feel if I go ahead with all 4 different integers, it is going to be a tough situation for me. So personally, what I'll try and do is that I'll reduce the question in form of one variable, that is P. So let's say is P into R. R is what? P plus 2. Less than QS. QS is what? Q is P plus 1. S is P plus 3. That is P square plus 2P less than P square plus 3P plus P plus 3. P square, I can cancel it out. So this is 4P. It comes this side, it becomes minus 2P less than 3. My question now it changes to is P greater than negative 3 by 2. Now the question becomes pretty simple for me. Now option number 1 is what? I'll try and put all these values and in statement number 1 and see that if I'm getting this or not. If I get this, it means my statement is sufficient. So what is option P? What is Q? P into P plus 1. And it says less than RS. RS is what? P plus 2 and P plus 3. So let's simplify this. So P square plus P less than P square plus 3P plus 2P plus 6. So P square is cancelled. This is what? 5P. It comes this side. It becomes minus 4P less than 6. That is nothing but P greater than negative 6 by 4. That is P greater than negative 3 by 2. So see, this is what I was trying to find, and this is what I've got. So this is sufficient. I don't have to take any number and all. It looks to be tough one because you are seeing so much of calculation, but these calculations will not take more than 20 seconds. That I promise you. Now, second statement says PS is less than QR. My job is again put all these values over here. And let's see whether I'm getting this or not. So P into S is what? P plus 3. Less than QR. Q is P plus 1, P plus 2. So see here, you get P square plus 3P less than P square plus 2P plus P plus 2. So P square cancels up. This is 3P and 3P cancels up. You don't get this at all. So I'll mark A as my answer. That's it. Aman, is this understood?
Yes, sir.
Anyone, any doubt? This looks to be a huge question, but trust me, it's very easy. If you try and convert your question, if you do not convert your question, then again, it's gonna be a tough ride because you have to take 3 sets of values. You have to take three sets of values because you know that PQRS is a consecutive integer, but you are not sure about the sign of PQRS. The PQRS can be 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be -1, 0, 1, 2. It can be -4, -3, -2, -1. So you will have to take three sets of number over here, and then again check with the statement number 1 and 2 that whether the question is satisfying or not with the help of statement number 1 and 2. But why you need to do that? If you analyze the information little bit, you will be able to solve the question within seconds. Any doubt here? Anyone? So the answer to this question would be A. Clear? Question number 6, please. Rajesh, is this clear? Ritu?
Yes,
Yes.
Rahul. Yes, pretty clear.
Mahima?
Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. Try question number 6 now. Take 2 minutes for this.
Rahul,
Yeah.
just small clarification. So when we got option A as sufficient, we would still go and check for option B. But,
Absolutely. Because
we would-
imagine if this is sufficient,
Yeah,
then you will mark answer D now because A is
Answer
alone
D.
sufficient, B is alone sufficient.
yeah, but we will not go and combine those two for option C,
Absolutely.
right?
No, 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 no.
Okay.
You can only combine when you are 100% sure that one is not sufficient and option number 2 is not sufficient. Only then there is a possibility of combining.
Yes,
Because
sir.
the combination logic only says you, Rajesh, that if you feel that both the statements are not sufficient, then combine the statement and try and figure out is the answer possible or not. Directly,
Yes.
you will never combine. If you say statement number 1 or 2 are alone sufficient to answer the question, combination will never be the answer at all.
Sure, Rahul. Thank you.
Please solve question number 6. Take 2 minutes. What the answer? This is a easy question. So question is type and a pretty direct question. There is absolutely no information that is given to you. So be very sure however much the question may seem easy to you, it does not matter at all. Until you don't have a bit of thought process in the question, getting into the statement is an absolutely of no use. 100% it's of no use. So just have, it may be ki is m plus z greater than 0, but 100% think in your head, when is this condition possible? Or when will you be able to prove that m plus z is greater than 0 or not? Only when m is 100% positive or z is 100% positive, you will get a confirm yes answer. If you prove m is less than 0 and z is less than 0, you will get a confirm no answer. So looking at this question, I just have to think in two ways. That if I prove m positive, z positive, I'm done. If I prove m negative, z negative, I'm done. So this is my thought process, 100% you should have before you get into the statements, or else it makes no use at all. It's of no use doing the question. If you do not understand the question, why not? Question is just two-word question, but we need to ensure that there should be a bit of understanding in your head before you get into the solution. Now here I come down to a place where my understanding is ki, can I prove m and z both positive or m and z both negative or not? Option number 1 says what? M is greater than 3z. I have no idea about m and z. I don't know it's an integer, it's a fraction. I don't know anything. So you are free to take anything in your head. Can I say m100 is greater than 3 into 10? M is 100 is greater than 30, right? And here what is? M plus z is greater than 0. Can I say m as minus 10 into 3 is 3z? It is minus 20. Minus 10 is greater than minus 60 for sure. But minus 10 and minus 20 is less than 0. This is a yes situation, m plus z greater than 0. This is a no situation, m plus g is less than 0. I think I have an answer not sufficient. Statement number 1. It's a is type of a question. My job is to create a yes or no situation. Looking at option number 1, I've created m plus z is greater than 0 here, m plus z is less than 0 over here. Any problem, anybody, please tell me. Shaurya, Ritu, clear?
Yes, Rahul.
Second is exactly the same thing, 4z minus m greater than 0. That means nothing but 4g is greater than m. So 4 into 100 is greater than 10. It means 100 plus 10 is greater than 0. M plus z is greater than 0. Again, 4 into negative 10 is greater than minus 50. Simple logic. Now here minus 10 minus 50 is less than 0. So again, m plus z is greater than 0. I have a yes situation. M plus z is less than 0. I have a no situation. I can straight away again say this is not sufficient to answer the question. Now these two statements are individually not sufficient to answer the question. Why? Because I have proved m plus z is greater than 0 also. M is greater than 3z. M plus z less than 0 also. M plus z, m is still greater than 3. Anyone, any doubt over here? Now come down to the place where how do you combine the statements? Now you know that statement number 1 is not sufficient. You know statement number 2 is not sufficient. How do you combine it? Now see here, m minus 3z greater than 0. It says 4z minus m is greater than 0. Please understand, guys, you are trying to combine two inequality equation. Now combination of two inequality equation or combination of two equations is nothing but you solving those particular equation. That's it. There is no other way around at all. So when I solve this, it means what? I'll try and add. I'll try based on my convenience. I'll try and reduce the equation. Simple logic. Now, if I see that if I add my m and m is getting subtracted, cut. So if I add this, what happens? M cancel 4z minus 3z, z greater than 0. I know that now z is greater than 0. Option number 1 says me what? That m is greater than 3z. If z is greater than 0, m is greater than 3z, m will surely be greater than 0. So answer should be C. Anyone, any problem? Rajesh, is this clear?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Nishit? Mahima?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Rahul, can you just move the screen to the right
Yes.
once?
Yeah, sure.
Just once. Just want to see the second equation values.
Anything, whatever you want to take. I have just taken my values. You take 4 into 10 is greater than 5. You take 4 into 100 is greater than 10. Whatever,
Rahul,
because the whole point is that Z and M is not known to you, Rajesh. So you are free to take anything in the life, anything in the world.
Yes, Rahul.
So
Can you
you
tell-
Rahul,
tell-
one
Yep,
second.
please tell me.
The z is more than 0 understood when you combine both the equations. Z is more than 0 understood. M is more than 3z.
From statement number 1 says what? M is more than 3, right?
Okay, you can still use that. Yeah, okay.
100%, because we are trying to combine these two statements now. So
Yes.
imagine if you do x plus y is equal to 10 and x minus y is equal to 20. When you add it, what you get? 2x is equal to 30, x is equal to 15. Now you put here or here, you will get eventually the same value,
Yes, yes.
right?
Sir, can
Yeah.
you just tell me in the 4z greater than m, the second condition which you showed with the negative values? Can you go through that again?
Yeah, yes. Simple. 4 into 100 is greater than 10.
Yeah.
400 is greater than 10. And I know my
Mhm.
z is 100, m is 10. So 100 plus 10 is greater than 0. It's a yes situation.
Okay.
Now I know that 4 into negative 10 is greater than minus 50. Minus 40 is greater than minus 50, right?
Yes.
So it is minus 10 and minus 10 minus 50 is less than 0. So m plus z here is less than 0. No situation. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Question number 7 will come to it. Don't worry. Question number 8, please try. Beautiful question, if you understand. So it's again, there is a bit of information given to you. Please ensure that analyze this information before you get into the question analysis. There are two structures of a question. The question could be very direct, or there could be information that is given to you in the question. If there is information that is given to you in the question, that information needs to be used while you are solving the statement. That need to be kept in your head. That information is not to beautify the question. Be very sure about it. Perfect. Perfect. Right. So the question is, what is 1 over k greater than 0? Now there's a very bit of information that is given to you that k is not equal to 0, 1 or minus 1. This is a bit of information that is given to you, and you have to ensure that whenever, if at all you are trying to consider any values of k, these are the values you should not consider. So my question is, what is 1 over k greater than 0? So before we get into the question, my job is to analyze the question for sure. So can you tell me when is this condition possible? If I ask you a over b greater than 0, what does this mean? Always thinks in terms of sign. I've told you in the first class. Always think
Denominator
in
should be
terms of sign.
positive.
Not denominator. Sign of a and b
B
are
value.
same. Sign of a and b are same, man.
Yeah.
And a over b less than 0 means sign of a and b are different. Agreed? Opposite, it means different in the sense if a is positive, b should be negative for this to be less than 0. And if a and by b is greater than 0, it means a and b should be of same sign. My question is 1 over k greater than 0? 1 is positive. Now for this condition to suffice, k should be greater than 0, right? Can I tell this? All I'm trying to say, Yoki, is 1 over k greater than 0. When is this condition possible? This is only possible when k is greater than 0. Do you think there is any other doubt? One over k is greater than 0 when? So this is a by b. A is equal to 1, which is positive. So b should be positive, k should be positive, right? So my question is, when k is greater than 0, can I change this entire question to is k greater than 0? Because if k is greater than 0, if I prove this, 1 over k by default will be greater than 0, for sure. Anyone, any doubt here? I have just tried to reduce the question for myself. My question says, is 1 over k greater than 0? All I have thought, when is this condition possible? When sign of numerator and denominator are same, I know that numerator is positive. So denominator should be positive. Now, can I change my question to is k greater than 0? That's it. If I can prove this 1 over k greater than 0, by default, it will happen. I don't have to even think about it. So my new question is k greater than 0? Now, option number 1 says what? 1 over k minus 1 is greater than 0. Our statements are always absolute. Be very sure. Now, this is a statement that is given to you. 1 over k minus 1 is greater than 0. It means a by b is greater than 0. This is actually greater than 0. This is statement number 1. So this is a place where we can't challenge it. All I'm trying to say, okay, when is this condition possible? Only when k minus 1 is greater than 0. And it means k is greater than 1. See, option number 1 says k is greater than 1. Because if k is greater than 1, k is by default greater than 0. I can say 1 is sufficient. Any doubt, anybody? Option number 2 says what? 1 over k plus 1 is greater than 0. When is this condition possible? When sign of numerator and denominator are same. So for this condition to be possible, k plus 1 should be greater than 0. That is, k should be greater than negative 1. But if k is greater than negative 1, k can be equal to negative half, or k can be equal to any number 2, 3, 4, 5 to infinity. So this is a no situation. This is a yes situation. So this is not sufficient. So my answer is k. Is that very clear? Anyone? Any doubt?
Rahul, you said a by b will be greater than 0 if a and b both are either positive or negative, right?
Same sign. If a is
And
positive,
a by
B
b
should be
will be less
positive.
than 0. When would that be?
When both
What
are of
would-
opposite sign. Agar a positive hai, to
Opposites.
B should be negative. If B positive, so A should be negative.
Okay, so if they have not given one as positive sign, then
It's not
here
about
we
they
have
have
to.
not given. It's not about for if a number is written like this, and if there is no negative, it means it's a positive.
Yeah, that is that I know, Rahul. But what I'm saying is, if they have given negative value of 1 in the question, then we would be
Negative
considering
value
the
of
same
one. Negative value of one.
minus 1 by k. Great.
Minus 1 by k minus 1 greater than 0, right?
Yeah.
So imagine minus, if the question is minus 1 over k minus 1 is greater than 0, it means for this condition to hold now, k minus 1 should be negative. So k minus 1 should be less than 0, that is k should be less than 1.
Okay, Rahul, got it. Thank you.
Agreed. But imagine if there is a slight little change in the question. If question says here that if k is an integer, what should be the answer then? Think about it. If question says if k is integer and k is not equal to 0, 1 and minus 1, is 1 over k greater than 0? And option number 2 says me what? That k is greater than negative 1, right? And question says that k is not equal to 0, 1 and minus 1. So if k is greater than negative 1, the next value k will start taking is from 2, 3, 4. If it is given to me in the question that k is an integer. So if in that case, if it is given that k is an integer, answer would be D. Please tell me if is any problem, anyone. The question what is given to you, according to this question, answer is A. But if there is a slight change in the question, they give you extra information, extra bit of information that if k is an integer and k is not equal to 0, 1 and minus 1, is 1 over k greater than 0? Statement number 1 remains same, statement number 2 remains same. So statement number 2 comes as k is greater than negative 1. Now you know that k is an integer, so there is no point of it being some fractional value. You also know that k is not equal to 0, 1 and minus 1. So if k is greater than negative 1, the next value that k will take is from 2, 3, 4. So even this would be sufficient. Is there any problem over here? Anybody? Please tell. Ankita, is this clear? Mahima, Shaurya?
Yeah, it's clear.
So answer to this particular question is 100% A, because it is not given to me that K is an integer or not. Beautiful. Can you please try doing question number 11? One of the very nice question actually. Take 2 minutes. C. Perfect. So it says that RAN, are X and Y positive. But before you come down to this situation, please understand here. A over B greater than 0 means what? A and B, same sign. A over B less than 0 means what? A and B, opposite sign. If I say you A over B greater than 1, what does this mean now? Now for A over B to be greater than 1, 100% A over B are positive. There is no doubt at all. This is positive, it means they should be of same sign. But you will have to take an individual specific cases. Case 1 says, if A and B are positive, then A over B can be greater than 1 only when A is greater than B. Please understand, 6 by 5 is greater than 1, 4 by 5 is less than 1. So this case will not happen. So if you are considering A and B positive, then for A over B to be greater than 1, A should be greater than B. Is this understood? Now case 2 says, if A and B are negative, then for A over B to be greater than 1, A should be less than B, because minus 10 by minus 5 is greater than 1. You can't say -4 by -5 is greater than 1. No, because negative negative cancels. 4 by 5 is not greater than 1. For a values to be greater than 1, in case of a and b are positive, numerator should be greater than denominator. For a value of for a over b to be greater than 1, in case a and b are negative, my numerator should be less than denominator, because in negative number, higher the magnitude, lesser the value. Simple logic. Is this very clear? Any doubt? Anybody? Shaurya, is this clear?
Yeah, Rahul.
So come here. It says Rx and Y both positive. Option number 1 says what? 2x minus 2y is equal to 1. That is x minus y is equal to half. I can take x is equal to 1, y is equal to half, I'll get half. X and y positive. In this case, x and y both are positive. It means x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0. But imagine, can I also take y as x as negative half, y as negative 1? In that case also this is half. In this case, x is less than 0 and y is less than 0. Simple logic. So my question is, are x and y both positive? In this case, yes situation. In this case, no situation. And both are giving me that x minus y is equal to half. So I can say this is not sufficient. Any doubt, anybody? Now option number 2. It says x and y greater than 1. Now, moment x over y is greater than 1. It means what? You will have to take two cases. Case 1, when x and y are positive. For a fraction x over y to be greater than 1, x should be greater than y. Case 2, when x and y are negative. For a fraction x over y to be greater than 1, x should be less than y. Anyone, any doubt here? Help. Any doubt at this place? So I can say x and y both are positive. It's a yes situation for me. I can say x and y both are negative. It's a no situation. So option number, this is also not sufficient. So both are technically not sufficient. Now there are two ways to combine, guys. Either you combine without touching pen and paper, logic will come into use, or you will have to solve this, because end of the day, please understand these are two equations that you are trying to combine. And combination of two equations are nothing. It's an inequality equation. One is equation, one is inequality equation. So combination of two equations is never what? You have to just solve those two equations. That's it, in whatever way it is possible. But there is a way that you combine without even touching pen and paper. From option number 1, what do you understand? Can I say x is equal to y plus half? I know this statement is not sufficient. Now that's over. All I'm trying to combine now. So from option number 1, can I say x is equal to y plus half? Please tell me. Can I say this?
Yes, Rahul.
And if x is equal to y plus half, what does this mean? Can
X
I
is
for the
greater than
fact
y.
say 100% x is greater than y by half? It means x will be greater than y for sure. Now you take y any positive number, you take y any negative number. It does not matter to us at all. It just does not matter, but x will always and always be greater than y. Is that very clear? Now x is greater than y in option number 1. In option number 2, what? I have x greater than y also, x less than y also. Common term x greater than y, common term out. And for x greater than y, x and y are positive. So C is my straightforward answer. So this is a logical way to combine it. But again, I don't expect that this is how you combine right in the first time. It may take some time to come down to this sorts of a combination, to think in this way. But again, there is a very easy way also to combine. Imagine I'm trying to combine two equations. So combination of two equations is nothing but solving it. Put the value of option number, put the value of x from option number 1 to option number y. Value of x is what? Y plus half. Put it over there. You will get y plus half over y greater than 1. That is nothing but y over y plus half y greater than 1. Y over y is cancelled. So 1 plus 2y greater than 1. 1 cancels out. So 1 over 2y is greater than 0. When is this condition possible? Only when y is greater than 0. Simple logic. If y is greater than 0 and x over y has to be greater than 1, then x should be greater than y. X should be positive and x should be technically greater than y as well. Only then option number 2 will suffice. So that's also a way to combine it. Now in this combination, I've done nothing. I've just simply tried and solved the two equations. So when I put value of x from option number 1 to option number 2, this is what I've got. So I've solved this. I've got 1 over 2y greater than 0. Now this is only possible when y is greater than 0 because numerator is positive 1. If y is greater than 0 and x over y is greater than 1, then x should be greater than 0 and technically x should be greater than y as well. But I don't care about x should be greater than y as well or not because my job is to prove x and y are both positive or not. So I can say C. So it's up to you. How do you combine? You don't have to do any of these things if you actually come down to a conclusion that from option number 1, x is greater than y. Option number 2, I know that x is greater than y also, x is less than y also, common term x greater than y, common term out, and for x greater than y, x and y are positive. So C. So combination part needs to be a bit learned and it will be done slowly. It cannot happen in one day. It's all about how beautifully you analyze the question, do the question. That's it. Can you please try doing question number 13? So this is an easy question, guys. It says is 1 by p greater than r by r square plus 2. I am always trying to say he always understand the question before you mark the answer. Simply don't get into the statements at all. Absolutely no. First of all, think when is this condition possible? When can you say first from the question? It's a pretty direct question. There is no information whatsoever given to you. You don't know what is p, you don't know what is r. You have to prove is 1 by p greater than r by r square plus 2. Just think once, when will you be able to prove this? When will you be able to prove this, that LHS is greater than RHS? Until you do not know the values, until you don't know the values, you can't say whether 1 by P is greater than R by R square plus 2 or not. Simple logic. Until I don't know the value, I just can't say whether left hand side is greater than right hand side or not. Now, if this is the understanding, then this question will not take 2 seconds for you to be done. Option number 1 says what? P is equal to R. I don't know what's the value of P is equal to R. Let's check. Imagine P is equal to R is equal to 1. What do I get? 1 by 1 greater than 1 by 1 plus 2. That is 1 is greater than 1 by 3. I have a yes situation. It's straightforward. Now because it's a yes type of a question, so my job is to create a yes and no situation to say that this statement is sufficient or not. Now I take P is equal to R is equal to -1. So 1 by -1 is greater than -1 by -1 square plus 2. This is nothing but -1 is greater than -1 by 3. Is this possible? No situation. Because on negative side, lower the value, lower the magnitude, higher the values. So -1 is greater than -1 by 3, no situation. So option number 1 is not sufficient. It's straightforward. Option number 2, I can't say. Why? Because I have no idea about P. You can take R anything on the left hand side. That doesn't matter at all. But based on that, I'll take value of P. Imagine if you take R is equal to 100 something and all. I'll say that I'll take value of P as 1 by 1000. So 1 by B becomes 1000. 1000 is technically greater than whatever value you take here. I may take P is equal to 0.000001. So technically, I do have no idea about P from statement number 2. I don't know whether it is sufficient or not. So it is not sufficient for sure. Now, when you combine the statement, it says P is equal to R. This says R is greater than 0. Don't you feel only this condition will suffice always? This is a condition which will always suffice. So I can say this is sufficient. C is the straightforward answer to me. Straightforward. Any doubt? Question number 14, one of the easiest question that you can get in the exam. Can you please try? Take a minute. Okay. Check once again, Gaurav. It's pretty fast that you did. I think it's wrong. No, Ritu, wrong. Check again. Perfect, Rajesh. Mahima, Shaurya, Shanchi, what's the answer? Perfect. So option number 1 says x is less than 8 by 9. The question says what is x plus y less than 1? Pretty direct question. See, I'm trying to say by time and again everything in this class. It's a very direct question. No information is given to you on whatsoever. Nothing. You don't know what is x, what is y. Question is type of a problem is x plus y less than 1. And S type of a problem, our job with the statements is what? Our job with the statement is to get the actual value. To get a yes or no situation. Give me 1 second, I'll come, please. Sorry. There was someone on the gate. It's a pretty direct question, right? Is x plus y less than 1? So in direct question, my job is to think on the question first of all. Is x plus y less than 1? How do we get to know this? Until I don't know the value of x and y, I can't say it's less than 1 or greater than 1. Right? Option number 1 says x is less than 8/9. I have no idea about y. Imagine if I take y is equal to 1000 and x is less than 8/9. Let it be whatever value. 8/9 is what? 0.7. 0.8, I think. So 0.8 plus 1000 is greater than 1. But imagine if I take y is equal to 0.1. In this case, 0.8 plus 0.1 is less than 1. So technically, I have no idea about y from statement number 1. So it is not sufficient. And same logic goes for statement number 2. No idea about x, not sufficient. Now, how do you combine this? I've told you what, combination of two equations is nothing but solving those two equations. So x is less than 8/9. Y is less than 1/8. If I add this, what do I get? X plus y is less than 8/9 plus 1/8. That is x plus y is less than 73/72. That is x plus y. 73/72 is what? 1.01 something. My question is what? Is x plus y less than 1? This is my question. After combination, what I am getting? X plus y is less than 1.01. What do you mean by this? That value of x plus y can be 1.0001 and value of x plus y can be 0.5. This is a number which is greater than 1. This is a number which is less than 1. Because please understand, between 1.1 and 1.01, there are 1000 values, lakhs of values. There could be 1.000001, for again, there could be 1001. So between 1 and 1.1, there are lakhs of values. Is this clear? Why the answer is E? Because this is a yes situation, it is greater than 1. And this is a no situation, it is less than 1. So even if you combine it, x plus y less than 1, I can't 100% say. Because my combination part says that x plus y is less than 1.01. And if x plus y is less than 1.01, there could be a value of x plus y which is greater than 1. That is this. There could be a value of x plus y which is less than 1. That is 0.5. So I have a yes or no situation. Anyone, any doubt here? Sachi, clear? Mahi, clear? Gaurav,
Yes.
Aman, clear? Ankita?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Try doing question number 15. This is the easiest question that can be asked in the exam. Be very sure about it. Nothing easier than this. And I'm telling you so that you have some pressure. Do not tell answer blindly. Question number 15, please. Question is x minus y plus 1 greater than x plus y minus 1? Can I do x minus y minus y greater than minus 1, x cancels. Minus 2y greater than minus 2. If you divide by minus 2, it will be. My question changes to is y less than 1. Option number 1 says what? X is greater than 0. With x greater than 0, I will have no idea about y. It's an independent value, not sufficient. Option number 2 says y is less than 0. If y is less than 0, y will surely be less than 1. So sufficient. B is the answer. Anyone, any doubt over here? Pretty simple question. Any doubt? Now, guys, before we go ahead and solve a lot of different type of a question, let's come down let's come down to some very conceptual question as to how you should be marking the answer. This will be very, very clear. Let's do it from the down. We'll cover all the questions. Don't worry at all. Question number 35 is a weighted average question. I put this question in statistic as well. If you do it with the inequalities, it will take you easily 5 minutes. If you do it with the weighted average, it takes you 20 seconds to do this question. Whatever time will take to read this question, but if you use weighted average in this question, it will be done in 20 seconds. I have kept this question in statistic chapter as well. So let's do it in statistic. Can you please try doing question number 34? Take 2 minutes. Now, these are the places where you will build up your concept of solving data sufficiency. So please concentrate very properly. Try question number 34, take 2 minutes. Okay. What the answer? Again, let's come down to a very basic approach. The question is simple: is 2x minus 3y less than x square? I would say very direct question. No information is given. So if there is no information given in direct question, what is my job? To first think on the question before we get into the statement. If you just think, take 20 seconds and think on the question. This is even recommended in the exam, because once the question is very clear to you, it will not be a tough job at all. How much let the toughness of question be as much as it is. It will not matter to you at all. If the thought process of question is clear, when can I say 2x minus 3y is less than x square? Think about it. When can I say this? That
Sir,
2x
if-
minus 3 will be less than x square. Until
if
you
x
don't know
is
the value
positive.
of x and y. No. Your thought process is simple. Until you should know the value of x and y to say this, that 2x minus 3y is less than x square or not. That's it. If you don't know the value of x and y, it is practically impossible that you will be able to say that 2x minus 3y is less than x square, right? Now, this is one thought process. Other thing is what? That I 100% know x square is 100% positive. X square can never be negative number. These are the two things if you think. Now imagine, look into the question. Question is what? Is 2x minus 3y less than x square? Option number 1 says you what? 2x minus 3y is negative 2. Negative 2 has to be less than x square always, no? Can I say option number 1 sufficient in 1 second? It should not take you more than 2 seconds to say this. Tell. The question is asking is 2x minus 3y less than x square. Option number 1 does nothing. Option number 1 is just giving you a value of 2x minus 3y. And to the value of 2x minus 3y option, according to option number 1 is negative 2. So negative 2 will always be less than x square for sure. Always. So option number 1 is sufficient. Option number 2 is what? This is what we thought of until we don't know the value of x and y. I can't say whether 2x minus 3y is less than x square or not. So option number 2 has straight away aligned to our thought process. It says x is greater than 2. And it says y is greater than 0. If x is greater than 2, take any number of x greater than 2. Imagine take x is equal to 100. I take y is equal to 1. So if I take x is equal to 100, y is equal to 1, can I for the fact say 2x minus 3y will surely be less than x square? Because 100 square is a huge number. It goes to 10,000. Simple logic. Any doubt? Now imagine if I take x is equal to, let's say 3 and y is equal to, let's say I say you take y is equal to any number you take. Let's say y is equal to 100 you take. Now, if I take x is equal to 3, y is equal to 100, what happens? What is the value of 2x minus 3y? Don't you feel it will be a negative value? Check once. Whatever value you get, but you will get a negative value or not? Because 2x is what? X is equal to 3. 2 into x is 6. 2 into 3 is 6. Minus 3 into y. That is 300. So 6 minus 300, whatever is the value, but it's a negative value, right? So this negative value will be surely be less than x square. So now you try and understand over here that let's say this is 2x minus 3y. If in 2x minus 3y I take value of y greater than value of x, what would happen? Don't you feel you will get a negative value? Think about it, no? So you should 100% try and generalize what values you are taking. I'm time and again telling you, when you take a value, you should understand how is your value behaving with the question. And if this thought process is clear, you will never have problem in taking values. Because be 100% sure, guys, there is no specific values that needs to be taken. Or there is no generalized method where you are known from before that these are the values that you should take. Absolutely no. So you have to 100% understand whatever number you take, how your number behave with respect to the question. So here when I say 2x minus 3, why now instead of me taking some random values, trying to create a yes or no situation, all I'm trying to see if in 2x minus 3y, if I take value of y greater than value of x, I'll get a negative value. And this negative value will always be less than x square. If you take value of x more, x square will become a big number. So 2x minus 3y in that case also will be less than x square. So you take any value where x is greater than 2 and y is greater than 0. 2x minus 3y will always be less than x square. So even this is sufficient. So can I mark answer D? Anyone, any doubt? Ankita, Ritu, Sanchi, any doubt?
No, it's clear.
Perfect. Aman, is this clear? Rajesh?
Yes,
sir.
clear.
Try question number 33. Take 2 minutes. These are the questions which will give you a very beautiful thought process as to how should you go ahead and approach a problem. So what the answer?
Sir, is it C?
Okay. Anyone? Ankita, Chirag, Mahi, Rajesh, Shaurya, Sanchi.
I think
Answer
it's
C.
C.
B. Okay.
E.
E. It says what? Is MP greater than M? Check here. Is MP greater than M? Pretty direct question. No information is given to you at all. Absolutely no. But guys, please always remember, it's good for you. I can't force you that this is how you should be solving a question, but this is always a better approach, I can say you. When the variables are same on both the side, always bring it on one side. This gives you a lot of liberty to have a command on the question. I'll show you how. Because this is a place, if I go ahead with this question, our always the first job is to understand the question and then see that can you reduce the questions based on your own convenience or not. If yes, please do it. If no, it's absolutely okay. You can go ahead and solve the questions here itself. But I personally feel that if variables are same on both the sides, bring it on one side, you will have a great command on the question. Can I say, is MP minus M greater than 0? Or can I say, is M into P minus 1 greater than 0? My question is what now? Is A and B greater than 0? If A and B are greater than 0, it means sign of A and B should be same. So my job is to now prove if M is positive, P minus 1 should be positive. If M is negative, P minus 1 should be negative. I'm just supposed to prove that is sign of M and P minus 1 are same or not. This is my question now, final question. But you can 100% go ahead with this question. But all I'm trying to say, if you do this, you will have a better command and you will exactly get to know what stupidities you are doing with the option. So come down. Let's come down to the solution now. It says option number 1 says M is greater than P is greater than 0. Imagine I take P is equal to 5, M is equal to 10. It's a is type of a question. My job is to create a yes or no situation. Be very sure about it. And that's what I'm trying to do. In any is type of a question, I straightforward get into the statement after understanding the question to see that can I create a yes and no situation or not. If I can create it, this is not sufficient. If I can't create it, this is sufficient. Simple logic. So imagine if I take P is equal to 5, M is equal to 10. Can I say 10 into 5 minus 1 is greater than 0 or not? That is 10 into 4. Yes, I have a yes situation. Now imagine, again, you are taking a number where M is greater than P is greater than 0. I have just told you that whenever you take a number, keep question in your head. Now question is what? Is M into P minus 1 greater than 0? What I'm supposed to take? My number is what? P is greater than 0. Imagine if I take a condition P is equal to 1. Why did I take 1? Because my question says is M into P minus 1. And my statement number 1 is saying is P is greater than 0. So I have a full liberty to take P as 1. If I take P is equal to 1 and M is equal to 10, tell me now, do you think 10 into 1 minus 1 is greater than 0? No, it is equal to 0. So I have a yes situation, I have a no situation. Option number 1 is not sufficient. Anyone, any doubt here? Please tell me. I have done nothing. It's a pretty easy question if you convert the question in this way. Option number 2 says P is less than 1, but I have no idea about the sign of M. So obviously this will not be sufficient. Is that clear? So when I combine these two statements, what happens? P is less than 1 in option number 2. And option number 1 says what? P is greater than 0. When I combine this, can I say values of P lie between 0 and 1? Is this very clear? Anyone, any doubt in the combination part? And I know that M is greater than 0. That's absolutely known to me. That's a different stuff. But P lies between 0 and 1, M is greater than 0. And if P lies between 0 and 1, guys, can I say P minus 1 is always negative? Please look into this, what I'm doing. All I'm putting everything, I'm not letting my question go from my head. After combination, what do I get? P lies between 0 and 1. My job was to what? Prove M and P minus 1 are of same sign or not. So when P lies between 0 and 1, can I 100% say P sign of P minus 1 is always negative? Please tell me. And M is anyway positive given to you. So my question was, what is M into P minus 1 greater than 0? But when I have combined the equation, I'm getting M into P minus 1 is always less than 0. To confirm, no answer, but still this is the answer. It is straight away asking, is your name Rahul? You say no to it, and no is a confirm. No is a very valid answer. So confirm yes and confirm no, both are accepted answer. Can I 100% say, is this understood to everyone? Please tell me. Sachi, is this clear? Shaurya, Ritu?
Yes, Rahul. Yes, Rahul.
Perfect. So C is my answer to the question. Can we come to question number 32, please? Or you all want 5 minutes break, you please take 5 minutes break. I have no issues. If you want 5 minutes break, please take 5 minutes break. Because obviously doing so much of questions, you will go mad. So let's connect at 12:25. If you want to do questions, you do. If you want to go and get fresh, no issues at all. Let's connect at 12:25. But do not disconnect, let it be as it is. You can just keep yourself in mute and let's connect at 12:25. Go get fresh because we have to do 1 more hour questions. Okay. So let's connect at 12:25. You can take a break of 5 to 6 minutes, get fresh, and then we'll connect at 12:25. I'll pause the recording. Take 2 minutes, please. Okay, Rajesh. So what exactly is the question? Is 3 to the power p greater than 2 to the power q? Now the point here is, it's a direct question, no information is given to you. So my job is to think on the question before we get into the statement, simple logic. So the point here is, when this condition is possible, when will you be able to say that 3 to the power p is greater than 2 to the power q? Until you don't know the value of p and q, you can't say this, right? So technically, I should try and understand that, do I know the value of p and q or not, to say that 3 to the power p is greater than 2 to the power q or not? Option number 1 says q is equal to 2p. I can straight away say this is not sufficient. Why? Because I have no idea about what are the values. They can be negative values, they could be positive values. But you want to 100% confirm? Try putting value of q from here in the question. It says 3p is greater than 2 to the power 2p. That is 3 to the power p is greater than 4 to the power p. So 3 to the power p is greater than 4 to the power p. Simple logic. Now I have no idea about the sign of p. Imagine if p is equal to 1, what would happen? 3 greater than 4? No. Imagine if p is equal to -1. So 3 to the power -1 greater than 4 to the power -1, that is 1 by 3 greater than 1 by 4? I would say yes. So I have a yes and no situation. I'll say this is not sufficient. This is a bit of exponent rule. So exponent says what? A to the power minus 1 is what? 1 by A. A to the power minus 2 is what? 1 by A square. A to the power negative 3 would be what? 1 by A cube. So these are exponents rule. So I can generalize this by saying A to the power negative m is what? 1 by A to the power m. And that's what I've done here. Here, my job is 3p greater than 4p. I put p is equal to minus 1, 3 to the power minus 1 greater than 4 to the power minus 1. 1 by 3 greater than 1 by 4, yes. So with option number 1, now this detailed understanding is more than sufficient to say this statement is not sufficient straight away. Now imagine option number 2. Here I have no idea about p at all. I don't know what is p. Imagine you take q is equal to 100. So let's say 3 to the power p greater than 2 to the power 100. I have no idea about p. I can say p is equal to 1000. So 3 to the power 1000 is greater than 2 to the power 100. I can say p is equal to 1. 3 to the power 1 is greater than 2 to the power 100. No. So it's very easy to create a yes or no situation. Not sufficient. Simple logic. Now the point come, how do you combine it? Simple. So combination means what? Q is greater than 0. It means says Q is greater than 0 is given to you. This is positive. Option number 1 says what? P is equal to Q by 2. If Q is positive and P is equal to Q by 2, can I say P is 100% positive? Please tell me this. Think about this. If I combine, can I come down to a situation that P is always positive and Q is always positive? And in this case, this will always suffice. If P is 100% positive, Q is 100% positive. The question is 3 to the power P greater than 4 to the power P? You know that P is positive, and you will always have a no situation. So it's a confirmed no answer. So I can say C is sufficient to answer the question. Anyone not understood? Sanchi, clear?
Yeah, sure.
Try question number 31. Now this is one question, guys. You can take 2 minutes for this. I'll tell you, this is a question which can be done in 20 seconds. It can be done in 2 minutes. It can be done in 5 minutes. And whatever way you try to do, please take, I'll just tell you. I'll tell you a 20-second approach. But before we get into this, please you try. Take 2 minutes, try doing this question.
Sir, is it answer B?
Okay. So what's happening over here? What the answer? It's pretty simple question, guys. It's pretty, see here, is m greater than n? Very direct question. S type of a question, your job is to create a yes and no situation. Simple logic. Now m is greater than n. When do we get to know this? These are two different variables, very sure. When we'll get to know this, that m is greater than n? When I know the value of m and n, simple logic. See here now, it says n minus m. So I didn't change the question right now, nothing, because these are two different variables. I straight away went to the option. It says n minus m, it says n minus m. Moment I saw the options, don't you feel question could be changed for sure? Can I change my question? Is m minus n greater than 0? And if I multiply negative into this, can I also change my question? Is n minus m less than 0? See here now. Now either you prove this, or you prove this, or you prove this. It's one and the same thing or not? Don't you feel each statement, this says directly m greater than n. This is nothing but m is greater than n. This is nothing but m is greater than n. Simple logic. So each question is same. Each statements are same itself. The point is that the question says n minus m. So now my entire job is to ensure that I'll focus on this question. Is n minus m less than 0? I will not focus on this and this. Because eventually these are all three statements, same statements. All the three statements are same. So my focus is n minus m less than 0? Option number 1 says me what? N minus m is greater than negative 2. If n minus m is greater than negative 2, it can be equal to negative 1. It can be equal to 2. So this is a yes situation, that n minus m is less than 0. Here n minus m is equal to 2. This is a no situation. Anyone, any doubt, please tell me what I have done. And if you want to understand it much more properly, that Rahul, what the hell are you doing? But let me first finish this. Is this not sufficient because I've got a yes and no situation? Straightforward logic. Option number 2 says what? N minus m is greater than 2. Now my question is what? Is n minus m less than 0? It says n minus m is greater than 2. So from here I can 100% say ki it is confirm no answer. Because n minus m, when n minus m is greater than 2, it could be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to infinity. Here it is, the question is n minus m less than 0? So from statement number 2, it says confirm no answer. So this is sufficient to answer the question. This is B. But if at all you have any problem here, let's say, if you have any problem in the analysis, see here, because such type of questions are frequently asked in absolute value. I'm telling you, can I reduce my question to simple? Is n minus m less than 0? My statement number 1 is what? N minus m plus 2 greater than 0, n minus m minus 2 greater than 0. So see here, if write in the question to the statement, the entire variable is same. You can change the variable instantly for your own better understanding. Can I say let n minus m is equal to x? How my question changes? My question now becomes, is x less than 0? Option number 1 becomes x plus 2 is greater than 0. Option number 2 becomes x minus 2 is greater than 0. Now say it is such a easy problem. It says is x less than 0, x plus 2 greater than 0. Option number 1. It means what? X is greater than negative 2. If x is greater than negative 2, it can be negative 1. It can be 5. So is x less than 0? When it is negative 1, yes, it's less than 0, but x can be 5 also. So it's no, not sufficient. Now the question is x less than 0? Option number 2 says what? X is greater than 2. If x is greater than 2, x can never be less than 0. It's a confirmed no answer. So answer to the question would be B. Anyone, any doubt?
Rahul, I understood the second solution, but during the first solution you have provided, we have
I have
taken
done nothing. I have just taken in first solution. I have just taken x is equal to n minus m. That's it, Rajesh.
Yeah, so m minus n is greater than 0 is fine, but n minus m, why, how did we change the sign to less than 0?
1 second. So question is what? Is m greater than n?
Yeah.
Can I bring n on the left hand side and say m minus n is less than 0? Right? Agreed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you multiply negative in this, what would happen?
Okay.
Become minus m plus
Yeah.
n less than 0. That is
Yes,
n minus m less than 0. But point is, key, see, if at all you are a bit confused, so these are the two statements that you have.
Yeah.
So now check here. If I convert this equation, it straight away gets converted to m greater than n. Here what happens? Here it will say n is less than m. N is less than m doesn't means nothing but m is greater than n. So all the
Yes, sir.
equations are converted to m greater than n. That's it.
Got it. Thank you.
So I can write it in this way. I can write it in this way. You can proceed ahead with this itself. So if at all you try and take numbers, you will confuse very badly. Be very sure. So every question you should not take numbers at all. I'll try my best that in 80% of the question, you should not think on the number basis. Thinking from the number perspective is the best thing that you can do in math. But obviously, I can't allow you to sit in the class and think on the numbers, or else every question will take 20 minutes. But yes, when you are doing in the home, you can 100% follow my approach. And if at all you want to be if you want to attain a much more clarity, think on the question, take numbers, do whatever you want to do. When you are doing it in home, do not think of any shortcut, do not think of any timing. It is absolutely okay to take a question and solve it for an hour. Ensure that be extremely clear with that particular question. Let it take 1 hour. It doesn't matter at all. Because until a day won't come that you wake up one fine day and you start solving questions in 2 minutes. It takes some time, but it will happen 100% sure. I am very sure about it. It will happen. But be very sure the question that we are discussing, it encompasses all the structures, all the types of question, all the thought process that you should have while you are solving the question. So be very clear with all these 35 questions that we are discussing in the class. You have to keep solving these questions till the time you are able to do all the questions by yourself without looking into solution. And once you are done with this, I'll today tell you also how to, I'll give you extra question for sure. And I'll also tell you how should you explore the questions from GMAT club. And I'll give you the homework as well, don't worry. Question number 30, please. Take 2 minutes. Irrespective of the background you belong from, it just does not matter. I personally feel that getting 49 in GMAT Quant is really, really easy. It's all about how beautiful you are with the concept. Now, to build that concept, it may take time. I'm not promising that for sure. But if you're 100% conceptually clear, getting 49 is pretty easy in math. You just do, GMAT penalizes you very heavily if you do easy questions wrong. Very heavily. If you do tough questions wrong, they don't mind it at all. It's absolutely okay. You do tough questions. They don't care at all. But their easy questions are also a bit tricky one. So you can't simply solve it in 20-second, mark the answer and move on. You should ensure that confirm your answer. If any questions in the exam you are able to solve in 20-30 seconds, wait for 30-40 more seconds, confirm it that what you have done is right or wrong. Because see, technically, did we use any formula till now? Think about it in that perspective. We have not been using any formula. It's all your mind game. It's all about positive, negative, fraction, normal concept of inequalities that is involved. That we did in the first class, last class. Try 30th number. Take 2 minutes. Perfect. What the answer? It's simple, says is p square q greater than pq square. Question is a direct type of a question. No information is given. It's a is type of a question. So my job is to create a yes and no situation. And what I see in the question, the variables are same on both the sides. So I personally believe it bringing on one side, you can go ahead with the same variable. That is something which I will not be saying. So when I see variable both, the same variable on both the sides, I personally feel to bring it on one side, it gives me a complete command on the question. So can I say is p square q minus pq square is greater than 0? Can I say is pq into p minus q greater than 0? Now I'm straightforward stuff. Is AB greater than 0? Means I need to know sign of PQ and I need to know sign of P minus Q. Whether this is positive or if PQ is positive, P minus Q should be positive. If this is negative, P minus Q should. So the question is AB greater than 0? What you need to prove? That A and B are of same sign. Simple logic I'm trying to do. Clear? So let's see now here. Option number 1 says PQ is negative. It means option number 1 says A is negative. But I have no idea about B now. I can straight away say this is not sufficient. But you cannot say this until you practice. You get a yes or no situation on pen and paper. And for that, for your reason, I'm solving this. There's no point of solving all these questions. Yeah, you can straight away say not sufficient. Why? Because you know that PQ is negative. You have no idea about P minus Q. Here you can straight away say not sufficient. Why? Because you know P is negative. You have no idea about Q at all. So, but let's follow the process initially. Ensure that do not say anything not sufficient because you feel it to be. It should be portrayed on pen and paper. You should have a yes or no situation. So PQ less than 0. It means what? P is negative and Q is positive. Or I can say P positive, Q negative. So imagine my first case, I'll take that P as -1, Q as 1. In second case, I can take P as 1 and Q as -1 and check. So I know that PQ is 100% negative. This PQ is negative for sure. Now let's look into, I'm taking first case this, P negative and Q positive. Let's look into P minus Q. If I take P -1 and Q positive 1, I get negative into negative. That is positive, which is greater than the negative into negative, greater than 0. I have a yes situation. Now I'll take the second case, P as 1, Q as -1. So if I take P1, Q -1, PQ is 100% negative for sure. But P minus Q will become what? This is 1. Q is -1 to minus of -1. That is negative into 1 minus 1 will become what? Positive. Negative into positive, which is less than 0. I have a no situation. Now I can say this statement is not sufficient. Is that very clear? Option number 2, I'm very sure that because I have no idea about the sign of Q. Absolutely no idea about sign of Q. I can say this is also not sufficient. Simple logic. Now when I combine, guys, what happens? You know from option number 1 that PQ is opposite sign. You know that option number 2 says P is negative. So when I combine, can I say P 100% negative and Q positive? Anyone in doubt here? Because I did nothing. See here. Option number 1 says PQ is less than 0. Option number 2 says P is negative. So PQ less than 0 means what? P and Q are of opposite sign. And if you 100% know that P is negative, then Q will be positive. So on combination, I get P negative, Q positive. Anyone, any doubt? So on combination, if you get P negative and Q positive, this yes situation will always remain, no? Because this is what I have taken P negative and Q positive here. You take any value now and put it into PQ minus P minus Q. Take any value of P negative, Q positive, put it over here, you will always get a yes situation. PQ into P minus Q is always greater than this. So I can say C is the straightforward answer. Is that clear? Try question number 29. Take 2 minutes, please. Not tough question. What's the answer? So what exactly you are trying to do? Obviously, the question is pretty straightforward, direct question. But now you can't think, your thinking should not stop. What does this mean? Your thinking is always, till you do not work around the question, till you don't make question convenient for yourself, there is no point getting into the statement, be very sure. So imagine the question asking is 5 to the power n less than 0.04. What do you understand from this question? Nothing, absolutely, right? So you'll have to do some solutions here. Can I say it's 5n less than 4 by 100? If I remove this point, it's 4 by 100, right? Can I say is 5 to the power n less than 4 by 100 is 1 by 25? That means is 5 to the power n less than 1 by 5 square. That means is 5 to the power n less than 5 to the power negative 2. I just told you a to the power minus 2 is what? 1 by a square. Simple. So 5 to the power negative 2. Now, this is my question. Is 5 to the power n less than 5 to the power negative 2? For this condition to satisfy that 5 to the power n less than is less than 5 to the power negative 2, n should be less than negative 2, right? Don't you feel? If I prove that n is less than negative 2, 5 to the power n by default will be less than 5 to the power negative 2. Simple logic. No extra thought process is required. The whole point is if you do not work around the question, because sometimes questions could be like this, and that's the reason I'm always telling you. You first think on the question before you get into the statement. Your job should be 100% to understand that is the question holistically understood to you or not. If yes, it's good. If no, you have to understand. Till you don't understand, don't move ahead. Simple logic. Keep thinking. A time will come when you will start understanding things very beautifully. So let's say option number 1. It says what? 5, 1 to the power 1 by 5 to the power n greater than 25. Now simple solve it. So 1 to the power n, 5 to the power n greater than 25. So 1 to the power anything is 1. So it will be just 1. So 1 by 5 to the power n is what? It becomes 5 to the power negative n 5 square. Now 5 to the power negative n is greater than 5 square is only possible when minus n is greater than 2. Minus n greater than 2 means what? If you multiply negative, n becomes less than negative 2. This is sufficient because this is what I was looking for. That is n less than negative 2 or not. When I solved statement number 1, I have got n is less than negative 2. Check. My question is this. Be very straightforward now. This is my question now. Is n less than negative 2 or not? When I solve statement number 1, I have got n is less than negative 2. It may look a bit tricky, but it is a plain solving question. It should not, you should not get wrong in this question. It's just exponent rules they have involved to solve the question. Second says what? NQ is less than n square. NQ is less than n square. What does this mean? Now don't blindly start solving it. That NQ minus n square less than 0. If you solve it, it's eventually you'll get the same answer. But all I'm trying to ask you, I've always tried to say to you, whenever such expressions are there, you just think when is the condition possible? I promise you 80% of algebra questions will be done with this statement. NQ less than n square, when is this condition possible? Tell me. Only when n is negative. It may be possible for n less than 1 also. I don't care about that. But if n is negative, for all the negative value of an NQ will always be less than n square, yes or no? It will be, right? You put n is equal to negative 1. Negative 1 q is less than negative 1 square. You put n is equal to negative 2. Negative 2q is less than negative 2 square because this side is always positive. So nq will surely be less than n square for any negative value of n. So when I get to understand this, that nq is less than n square, this will satisfy for all the negative value of n. My question is, what is n less than negative 2? I can say n can be negative 1, n can be negative 5. When n is negative 1, it is not less than negative 2. It's a no situation. When n is equal to negative 5, it's less than negative 2. It's a yes situation. So not sufficient. Always keep question in your head. If question gets distracted from your head, everything will get distracted. Be very sure about it. So A is the right answer. Agreed? Acha, solve one more question and then we'll take a halt for today. We'll stop the class for today. I think it's getting too much for you all. You all have not done only. What can I do? Try question number 28. Sorry. What happened, bro? 1 second. How did this go up? Please try question number 28. Take 2 minutes. Yes, what the answer? So there is a bit of information given to you in this question for sure. If P is less than Q and P is less than R, the question comes to be, is PQR less than P? Simple logic. Is PQR less than P? A straightforward question. What I've told you, that if the variables are on the same side, bring it on one side for your convenience. So if I bring it on one side, my question becomes PQR minus P less than 0. Or it becomes as P into QR minus 1 less than 0. Clear? So this is my question. And it says that the information says me that P is less than Q and P is less than R. So please be very sure if there is information given to you, this information needs to be used while you're solving the statement.
Rahul,
Yeah.
sorry for interrupting.
No.
Just a basic doubt. After I solved till here, but after this we can't solve. I mean, can't solve as in we can't shift QR minus 1 to the right side, right? Because
No, you can't.
okay, okay, Rahul. Okay.
Imagine if AB is less than 0. How can you say? You can't say A is less than 0 by B now.
Yes. I know. I just wanted to confirm. Sorry.
Yeah. Always ensure that you can 100% transpose the variable from one side to other side. Imagine if it is x cube greater than x square. You can always do x cube minus x square greater than 0. But you can never cut this, cut x square and cut q and say x is greater than 1. You can only do this when it is explicitly mentioned to you in the question that x is positive. If it is not mentioned, you can't cut. Neither you can cross multiply. So imagine if it is x is greater than 1 by x. I asked you to solve this. You can never do x square greater than 1 until it is written in the question that x is 100% positive. It should be explicitly mentioned. All you are supposed to do is that x 1 by x minus 1 by x is greater than 0. You can always transpose from left to right, right to left.
Sure.
So a lot of people imagine, let's say when I say 2y plus x is greater than x plus 3y or x plus 1y, x plus y. And now you can cut this and this for sure. Why you can cut? Because even if you transpose, it's one and the same thing. 2y plus x minus x greater than y. So this and this cancels off. But you can't cross multiply and you can't divide. X square greater than x, you can't cut this and this x. Powers cannot be cut. X greater than 1 by x, you can't say x square greater than 1. This cannot happen. You can just transpose the variable. Once after transposing, this x, my plus x minus x cancel it out. That's absolutely fine. But do not play with the powers and cross multiplication until it's mentioned in the question that x and y are positive. Clear? So my question now becomes, is P into QR minus 1 less than 0? Simple logic. But be very sure about the information that is given to you in the question. P is less than Q, P is less than R. Option number 1 says what? PQ is less than 0, right? And what is given to me in the information that P is less than Q? Can I for the fact say from option number 1 that P is 100% negative and Q is 100% positive? Please tell me. Anyone, any doubt? Because I know that if PQ is less than 0, P and Q are of opposite side. But the information says me ki P is less than Q. So 100% P would be negative and Q is positive. But from statement number 1, I have no idea about the sign of R. So I can say not sufficient. Statement number 2 says me what? That PR is less than 0. But there is a information that is given to me in the question that P is less than R. What do you mean by this? P is less than R? First of all, PR less than 0 means P and R are of opposite sign. If P is positive, R is negative. If R is positive, P is negative. But there is explicit information that is given to you in the question that P is less than R. Can I 100% say P is for sure negative and R is positive? But option number 2 doesn't give me any idea about Q at all. No idea about Q. So I can say this is not sufficient. Anyone, any doubt? Please tell me now. Now, if I combine, what do you get? P is equal to negative, Q is equal to positive, and R is equal to positive. Now I know perfect sign of each and every variable after combination that P is negative, Q is positive, R is positive. My job is what? To prove that is P into QR minus 1 less than 0. Imagine I take P is equal to -1. Imagine I take Q is equal to 2, R is equal to 3. For these values, I'll surely get P into QR minus 1 less than 0. Why will I get? Because I know P is negative and QR minus 1 is positive because 3 into 2 is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. So -1 into -5 for sure less than 0. But what I have told you, whenever you take numbers, questions should be in your head. Do not take some random number that if you have got a no situation here, if you have got a yes situation here, or don't start thinking something randomly, put some random number and look for no situation. That is never the case. Always look into the question when you are taking numbers. This is extremely, extremely important. What is my question is P into QR minus 1 less than 0. I know that Q is positive, R is positive. Imagine if Q is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, my entire sentence collapses, right? Imagine I take P is equal to -1. My second case. I'm trying to create a no situation now. I'm taking P is equal to -1. If I take Q is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, because this is what is given to me that QR is positive. I can take any value of Q and R positive. So P -1, Q1, R1, what does this mean? Can I say P into QR minus 1 is equal to 0, which is a no situation? I have a yes and no situation. I can straight away say not sufficient. So E is the answer. Anyone, any doubt, please tell me.
No, sir.
Clear? Rajesh? Shaurya?
Yes, Rahul, clear.
Agreed? So what we can do is that we can stop the session for today, but please make a note of the question number that we have not done. I'll just once try. There are a lot of question that needs to be done. I'll just tell you exactly what needs to be done also. So see here, make a note. Some of you make a note so that we are very clear. Question number 2 is not done. Question number 4. 5, 6 is done. Question number 7. Question number 9. Question number 10. Question number 12. 16 we'll do in stats. Question number 17. Please make a note, some of you. Question number 18. Question number 19. Question number 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. How many questions are there? Anyone? Total number of questions?
Sir,
As in whatever
17.
questions, yeah, you have told right now.
17.
Total 17 questions.
18 actually.
18, okay. Oh shit. So do one thing. Next class we'll be doing again. Let's finish the next class on equality. Oh, I wanted to finish it in next half class, but I think it will go. Acha, listen. Now, please use the time a bit properly, because what happens, if you get for one chapter a long time, that is also not good because you will not use it. You will take it for granted that I know stuff. So what you can do is that I'm just telling you. Imagine. How should you explore the GMAT club? I'll give you extra questions, but I'll give you extra questions when we complete absolute value. But I'll tell you how exactly you should be solving the questions. So imagine this is like we have done these questions right now, because this is the only way you will be good, guys. If you are not doing this, I'll be surely helpless, because just doing the class will not justify your preparation. Be very sure about it. So imagine this is a handout that we have, inequalities handout. So in whichever question you felt that this question was challenging to you, whichever question you have felt right now, let's say you were doing these questions, we did so many questions. I don't know which questions you felt was challenging for you. I personally don't know because you didn't tell me. So imagine if any questions that you felt challenging for yourself, imagine question number 11. Your job is, or challenging in the sense that you took some time, you took some 20 minutes to do some question. Or let's say you took some 10 minutes, or you tried for half an hour and you were not able to solve the question. Your job is put this question to GMAT club. So like just put it into browser. Open this Chrome, paste it in the browser, and you will see the question is discussed in GMAT Club. Please come down to GMAT Club. Now, considering you took almost like 20 minutes to solve this question, so it is 100% your job to go ahead in GMAT Club, put this question and come down of the page. Absolute down. You will get a lot of similar types of a question. So your job is to go over here, click on this question, let's say. Try to solve this question 100% by yourself. And once you are done with the solution, check the answer. The answer is C. Imagine you have got an answer B or you have got an answer A. Then your job is not to go look down the solution, why it is A and why it is not. Why the answer is why C over here. Let's say you have got C, let the right answer is C and you have got answer as B for you. It's a is type of a question. It means that when they have written answer C, and if your answer is B, it 100% means there is a yes or no situation that you have missed out something, because it's a is type of a question. When you say something sufficient, it means you have just either a yes situation or a no situation. Only then you say that something is sufficient. So if you have got answers A, B, and your right answer is C, your job is not to go and read the solution and look into the solution. Don't do these craps at all. You have to ensure that 100% try to solve it by yourself, get your own answer C. And how will you get answer C? It's a is type of a question, simple logic. If you have got answer B, it means either you have got a yes situation or no situation. That's it. Follow the process. Every questions can be solved. Let the question be very tough, it doesn't matter. And it's absolutely okay that you do something wrong. But when you do something wrong, do not get and read the explanation or see the explanation, and then you have a feeling that you have understood it. That is the most fakest understanding that you can ever have in your life. You can be only good in maths when the question is done by you alone, not even 0.1% help from anywhere. What we are doing in inequality is that this questions that we are doing in inequalities, first of all, ensure that be very conceptually clear with the question that we are doing in the chapter. Like you will keep doing these questions time and again till the time you are able to solve all the questions by yourself. So let's say today, today we did almost, I think, 17, half of the question, 50% of the question we were able to finish today. Your job is to go again. You have the videos with you. Do every questions by yourself now. Let it one question take you 1 hour, let it take half an hour, let it take 2 hours. But the question that we have done, you will not look into the solution and you should get answer by yourself. You give time right now. I don't care about it. But ensure that please give time, because if you do not give time now, if you have that entire habit of going and looking into the explanation and having a feeling that I have understood, that is the most vaguest understanding that you will ever have in your life. Math doesn't work in that way. So what all questions we are done with, ensure that you do all these questions again. And when you are doing it again, you will actually personally feel that there are some questions which is challenging to you. Even if you have done it before class, even if you have done it in class with me, it may be a bit, some questions may be challenging for you. So your job is to go put that questions into GMAT Club, go down of it, solve some 8, 7, 8 extra type of a question. So guys, it's pretty simple. If we are doing inequalities, when we finish this chapter in the next class, you should be in a position to think that any questions from this chapter I should be able to approach. I should be in a position to approach it. And how will this thought process come? You be extremely super clear with the handout questions. Whichever handout question challenges you, put that questions into GMAT Club, come down. You will have lots of extra type of a question. Go ahead, press in this question. Try to solve this question. You get a wrong answer, that is absolutely acceptable. Now the answer is A. Let's say you have got answer B or C. And they're asking you what is the, it again is type of a question. If you have got any other answer, now try to analyze for yourself. When they are saying you answer is A, it means there is only one value which will give you. There is only one condition, yes or no situation. Either it will be a yes or a no, depending on what the question is asked. So try to figure out by yourself. So GMAT Club is a place, guys, which can either make you or it can break you or shatter you in a pieces that you will never be able to give GMAT exam. Be very sure about it. You have to use GMAT Club very, very wisely. All you have to ensure, do not look into the solution. And GMAT Club is a place where there are more than, I would say 5,000 questions from each chapter. It's all up to you how you research it. But use it very properly the way I have told you. Never ever go and read the explanation in math. Until you don't have your answer A by yourself, you will not come down and see the solution what they have given you. Once you have your own answer, you can 100% come down and see exactly that was your thought process a bit longer. They have given you some simpler solution. That is all acceptable. But till you get answer A, do not scroll down. And if you scroll down, it's gone for a toss. Then nothing will ever happen. You do 20 hours of study in a day, nothing is going to change. So you have to study very smartly. I don't want that you study more than 4 hours. But whatever you study in those 4 hours should be understood very well to you. And if some of you who are free, please give your time. So ensure that, let's say someone who is good in math, for them, that is a time, this time may be a bit boring that Rahul, you are taking 2 class of inequalities, but don't take it in that way. Ensure that do all the possible questions of inequalities that you can do it by yourself. Please work on it so that you don't have to wait later. And because this is a bit slow for sure, even I'm telling you, but ensure that you don't get into that trap of Rahul, class is slow or class is fast. No, I'll go slow for sure. But one who's some of you who's good in math, please ensure and start solving extra type of a question as much as you can. So all I expect from you in the next class is the question that we have done today should be 100% well understood to you. Go ahead and solve it again. Ensure that whatever happens, you will not look into the solution. Let one question take you half an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just give that time. And whichever question challenges you, come down to GMAT Club, put that questions into your browser, get into GMAT Club, scroll down. All I want from you is to solve the entire handout. The question that we have not done, solve those questions as well. The question that we have done, obviously, we'll need to solve this. Plus, I want at least all of you do some 20 extra questions from GMAT Club. All of you independently. You don't have to do what Rajesh is doing. Aman should not do that. What Aman is doing, Ankita should not do that. Do your independent questions by yourself. Any question and give time to it. Do not rush it up when you are doing GMAT Club. And again, I'm telling you, GMAT Club is the best site that can ever happen to you in your life if you're preparing for GMAT. You without this site, getting 700 plus is impossible, I'm telling you. You have to use this site, but understand, know how to use this site. If you do not use this site properly, you are gone. You are gone for a toss for sure, because this is a site which can make you or which can break you into the pieces that you will never be able to give GMAT. You will have all false hopes of, you will have all false thought process that I'm very good, but you are not good. You are only good when you do question by yourself. 1% help you come down here. It means you are not good. You need to accept that. So let it take time. That doesn't bother. That is not none of my botheration. Because please understand, it will never happen that one fine day you wake up and you start solving question in 2 minutes. You don't have to think about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes right now. You give 1 hour. Your entire understanding should be key. Are you in position to understand the question that you are solving or not? Is this 100% something which you are completely doing by yourself or not? And it will happen. I'm telling you, irrespective of the background you are from. If you understand the concepts well, you understand that what needs to be done in this type of a question, what needs to be done in what type of a question, what is the thought process that is required when there are some information given to you. But there is a very specific type of a question where use information is given to you. Then you ask you the question. We'll do that type of a question in next class. I wanted to finish today, but I think today it will be very, very tough for you all. So let's stop the class now. I'll send you the video by night today. You will get it for sure by 11, by 10 or 11. Moment I'm done with my night class, I'll send you the videos and I'll write a mail. But yes, what I've told you, ensure that minimum all of you 20 extra questions of inequality from GMAT Club. It is not that we are doing inequality for 3 weeks and you keep just practicing all these questions in the handout. That should not be the case at all. I'll give you extra questions only when I'm done with the absolute value, because in my extra questions, inequality and absolute value are right at the same place. You will start getting confused, completely confused. So right now your job is 20 unseen questions, all of you, and you will do all by yourself, all, not one single solution you will look into it. And how you get into GMAT Club, when you are doing the handout questions, wherever you are trapped, put that questions into GMAT Club, start doing questions by yourself. The day you start solving GMAT Club questions by yourself, trust me, that day you are prepared for GMAT. And you will always have to use this site, always, always. How much ever brilliant you are, it does not matter at all. This is one site which has become so mandatory for GMAT test takers that you can't imagine. But again, I'm telling you, use it very wisely. If you use for your simple that go and look into the solution and feel that you've understood the solution, that will be a gone case. You will go for a toss. Okay.
Sir, have you sent the handouts in the mail?
Yeah. Everything is there.
All right.
Perfect. So I'll send you the video of this class at night. Anyone in doubt? Any issues? All clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Chalo, we'll close the class for today. Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
Rahul.
sir.
Bye.